Good afternoon. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Cora.
Once again, we're here with the Cat's Pajamas. I do have a different idea for a name if you want to change it. I was thinking of using this in case we go over Heathcliff cartoons at some point, and we could call it Catfight. It would be Catfight, a Garfield / Heathcliff animated podcast. That's what I was thinking.
I think we have a lot of time before that.
I know we do. We have to get through Garfield first, but
it's a lot of Garfield content.
Because I didn't know if Catfight would be a better name. I was just throwing that around in my head. I should have told you earlier.
Brad's fine.
What?
On Mike's fine too.
What?
I said on Mike is fine too.
On Mike?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess he could really be named anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, we're here. Our third episode. It is the third Garfield special, Garfield in the Rough, from 1984. Once again, Phil Roman directed. I believe he directed the other two.
I think so.
And it is the first Garfield special to not involve Lee Mendelsohn and Bill Melendez, the guys who Phil Roman worked for and who did all the Peanut specials.
That makes sense in the art style.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Now
this one looks a little different.
Yeah, but it looks like, since it's the first one without them, odds are Phil Roman, and I didn't read this, I'm just thinking, since he came from their studio, because he directed the other two, but for those guys.
Yes.
So if he came from their studio, he would have poached some of the talent that he worked with and knew. So yeah, that does make sense.
It looks really similar, but there is something different, like the coloring and some of the art styles. Also, I read that, because, it's right up there now.
Yeah.
But I didn't connect that it's because you could literally do that with TVs at the time.
Oh, yeah, you could adjust it?
Adjust the color?
Yes,
I just, forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, you could.
Because obviously now we could, but it goes into, there's buttons for it, and it's a whole thing. It's not just a turning of a knob.
Yeah, it would have been a knob. And back then you just had UHF and VHF. So the UHF channels, I think, were 2 to maybe 13. And then the VHF were the lower channels. So you have 43, 33 for PBS, 27.
Yes.
There was actually, out of Reading, there was a channel 69, which used to show Bewitched, Gomer Pyle, all those shows during the day. So you would have to do that, and you had the rabbit ears.
Yes,
because this was the beginning of cable.
This came out in 1984.
Yes.
And in the intro, it says at the bottom, "Please do not adjust your sets. All the color has temporarily gone from Garfield's life." That's why I say that, because obviously now we could do that, but it takes a lot more work than turning a knob a certain way. It's you have to go to 4 screens, and it's just a pain.
Yeah.
And or you don't have your remote on you, and it's and that's what we're talking about. But basically,
the olden times.
It's not really black and white, because you can definitely see that that's supposed to be blue, and it's kind of blue.
Yeah, and there's some gray.
It's grayscale. It's not black and white.
And it's almost like how the beginning of The Wizard of Oz is sepia tone, not black and white.
Yeah, this is definitely grayscale, not black and white.
Yeah.
But it starts with no traditional Garfield colors. And he wakes up and talks about how miserable his life is. And then he walks over to the table, and John is sitting there, and he bonks his head down, has his hand up, and says, "All the color is gone from my life," right after Garfield has said it, which is another thing of, I'm pretty sure that he can hear him.
You know what? And that's the crazy part. We can debate that probably off and on because of the fact that, obviously Garfield, we can communicate with Garfield because we're the audience.
Yes.
And we know what he's saying. But how does John, because we talked about that, was that the last time? How everything would be meow, meow? It wouldn't be the words. So unless John can infer what Garfield means, because...
But this is not, I want food. This is all the color has gone from my life. That's an existential crisis.
Yeah.
That is not, I want tuna. Those are two very different things.
It's an existential crisis.
It's not because whenever, like, okay, I'm pet sitting right now. Whenever the dog wants food, he walks up to me, walks up to his bowl, walks back up to me. Clear indication he wants food without communication. That right there would not be clear
No,
in
not at
any
all.
way. But then John suggests a vacation as a way for them to get color back in their life, get more excitement.
Yeah.
So then Garfield gets real excited. He runs into a room we've never seen before with posters. Never seen before.
Yeah. There's a lot of rooms like this house. If you're only interested, if you're only acquainted with like John's house from Garfield and Friends, there's a lot of things that would look slightly different. Even though Phil Roman and his studio did Garfield and Friends, like this wallpaper looks the same, but it's still kind of different.
It's a different shade of blue.
Yes, yeah.
And then the carpet is purple instead of like, isn't it blue?
Yeah, I thought
that looks purple. That looks indigo.
Like I wanted to show you something that I found yesterday in one of my crazy internet searches.
Oh, while you're looking.
Yes.
After he suggests a vacation, Garfield goes into a room, pulled a bunch of stuff out of a closet. I don't know, just everything. He pulls a vacuum, a violin, a viola, multiple instruments, an umbrella, whole suitcase full of random things. And then John is like, no, we're not going to any of these places.
Yeah, because Garfield imagines where he wants to go.
Yep.
Now, is Matt Groening confusing Krusty with Binky? Because I don't know if Krusty ever said, hey, kids.
Yeah, and also the art style.
Yeah, like, I know that is, like, Matt Groening's style, don't get me wrong, but, like, having Krusty the Clown say, hey, kids, I'm like, that's Binky.
Yeah, that's how he starts. But they have the same kind of voice.
They do, and Binky was around before Krusty.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe it's just inspiration.
Maybe. I saw that, and I'm like, that's not right.
Maybe that's who he was inspired to make him from.
That could be.
So that could just be a collab he didn't realize he did. It could have been a Freudian slip drawing. Who knows? It could have been.
It probably was. Because I saw that and I'm like, I always saw Krusty was like, hey. You know, he said it twice.
Yeah, because he couldn't steal it.
Yeah, yes. Because he couldn't say, hey, kid. Maybe that's what he wanted him to say.
Probably. That might be, I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone probably asked him.
Maybe, probably. So Garfield is imagining different places like Mexico and Italy and things of that nature. So Venice in Italy, because, you know, he loves lasagna. Mexico, he was doing the La Cucaracha dance.
Hawaii,
yeah. And it's the same female cat in each one.
It's like this greenish gray female cat.
Who has like Botox lips.
Yeah, she has the biggest lips I've ever seen on a cat. I don't know.
She has like Angelina Jolie lips.
Yeah, and she also has her haircut, like the straight bob.
Yeah.
But she's in all three of them. And like in Hawaii, there's a volcano that just went off. And she's like, my village is getting destroyed. Yeah. My dad's a chief. If you go save them, you could marry me.
All you have to do is stop the lava. And he's like
you're pretty. You're not pretty enough.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, I'm not going to Hawaii.
Yeah. And then in Mexico, he does the La Cucaracha dance on a sombrero to impress her. And she's like, that's my brother's hat.
And then he gets kicked into his own hat that he's wearing. And he's like, not Mexico.
Yeah. And then Venice, she mentions, he's like a gondolier, and she's in the gondola. She mentions something about, I think, lasagna.
She mentions going back to her place for some lasagna. He said lasagna, jumped out the boat and started swimming.
Yeah, she's like, I'm stuck here now.
Yes.
So, in the canal. So then John tells him that they're going to go camping. And he's wearing snorkeling gear. He has like the goggles on, the shorts, the wade.
Yeah, he has a bunch. He has every piece of equipment plus some.
Yeah, and then every piece just kind of starts to fall off, including his shorts falling down, which is kind of odd, but it's funny. But it's weird to see it happen because he's just standing there as everything he's wearing slowly like comes off, and then. Then they go on their way. John's packing everything because they're going to be gone for a week.
Yeah, he doesn't know they're going to be gone for a week till after they get to the campground. That's and John's talking to the rangers. And he said, a week? Yeah. I can't do this. But there's a lot of singing in this. Like, you see Garfield playing a ukulele or something in Hawaii, he has human hands.
Yes, he does. You're right.
There's no claws, no nothing. He has fingers. They're not just...
Because how else is he going to play a ukulele? And you're right, it has to be ukulele because he's
in Hawaii.
Yeah, he's wearing the lei and the grass skirt. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
But then while they're driving to the campsite. I say camp place. The campsite.
Yeah, well, that's the camp place.
Same difference, I guess. John, he starts singing about how he's so excited. All he needs is jerky and tough jerky specifically.
Yes, yeah.
A fire, a sunset, a sunrise, and some other stuff, and he'll be happy.
Now, see, I think this is before we find out that John grew up on a farm.
It is, yeah.
So it's like, you're looking at John like you're an outdoorsy guy. Like, you're just kind of like...
I've only ever seen you in your house and at the vet. What's happening here? Like, I don't know you went anywhere else.
Yeah, you sit in your room at the house and do cartooning because you're a cartoonist. That's all you do.
Yes.
And it seems like he's almost agoraphobic.
Yeah, and then you make food, but you make food for you and your cat, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, do you go grocery shopping? I've never seen you leave your house.
No, it's almost like he, I think in Garfield and Friends he does sometimes, but in these we don't know that yet.
Well, yeah, this is not everyday ins and outs of his life.
Yeah, so I'm trying to keep it just to these specials, even though, I have every other Garfield thing running through my head.
It's like talking heads in reality shows that are filmed 2 months later. You have to pretend you're in the same mindset.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Terrible.
At first I thought you meant the band, the Talking Heads. Like, once in a lifetime, I was going to start dancing. Where, like, you just chop your arm and that's a dance. So, but it's same as it ever was. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's interesting because we learn that John fancies himself an outdoorsman. Obviously, Garfield would rather be at home. Mm-hmm. And now I'm assuming John's life revolves around Garfield and what Garfield wants.
It definitely does. Why else would you take your cat on vacation with you?
That's true, yeah.
Like, Liz may hate him, but she seems to be friendly enough. She'd feed him once a day.
Yeah. And she is a vet, and she'd be getting paid, so it's kind of like, well, this is my job. Right. And I guess if you're a vet, you would still have the Hippocratic Oath, right? Do no harm.
Yeah, so even if she hates him, she'd be like, I'm not going to starve him. I mean, he may think I'm starving and feeding him once a day, but he's not actually being starved.
Yeah, because he weighs, we were talking about them fat shaming him. I think it was the last one. And it's like, he's really not that big. And the rest of his family, he is genetically predispositioned to be that based on what we saw of his grandfather.
His brother. We didn't see his dad, but all his uncles and cousins.
Yeah. Like, okay. Either you look like your mom or you look like, I'm assuming the grandfather was like the dad's dad because he didn't look like the mom. Because there was that one cousin that kind of looked like the mom. Yeah. With the longer neck. So...
Yeah, they look like, you either look like a giraffe or you look like Garfield. There's no in between.
Yeah.
Oh, now they're at the campsite. And this is after he finds out he's going to be there for a week. So Garfield had a mini meltdown.
He did.
Now they're getting ready, like John's setting up the tent. And he sends Garfield to get water.
Yes.
Which, why would you send your cat to do any task for you?
Because he may view Garfield as human at this point. One, because Garfield is, unlike the other specials, he's standing more in this one. This is the first one where Garfield is more anthropomorphic than he's ever been.
It's got human hands, human feet. Yeah, might as well be.
You're actually right. And that could be like when it changed. Because even though he would stand every once in a while in the other two, he was on his fours more often like a regular cat.
He also doesn't look as fat in this one. They did not make his stomach as round.
No, he is a little more svelte, as they say.
Yeah, which, if you're going to be fat shaming him, why are you going to make him skinnier?
Yeah. Yeah, that is odd. Maybe people complained.
Maybe.
And this is when I think they were redesigning him in the comic strip, because I did read that Charles Schultz told Jim Davis how to make Garfield stand, because I guess it was awkward the way that Jim Davis, even though it's a cartoon, was trying to draw his feet like, I want to say anatomically correct for a cat. And he's like, you can't do that if you want him to stand up like a person.
Right.
And so I believe I did read that Charles Schultz, somewhere it might exist, I don't know where, but apparently he drew a picture of Garfield like standing up. And that's what inspired Jim Davis to draw Garfield the way that he stands, like with his feet the way they are and everything. Because I guess that's how he figured out how to have Snoopy stand up. So
I mean, it makes sense. Their art styles are very similar.
Yeah.
But you can tell the difference.
Because obviously Peanuts influenced everything that came after it in one way or another. And especially, like, I want to say, like, the roundedness of the characters. Like, obviously, Jim Davis draws, like, John, I'm assuming, is, like, Jim Davis. I think we may have talked about that in episode 1. So, like, I assume that's the way that he views himself as if he was a cartoon character. So he just adapted, like, you adapt the body then to whatever artist you admire at the time. Because when he would have grown up, comic strips would have been almost like high art, you know, like something to aspire to. Because that's back when people read newspapers.
Being a cartoonist was a crazy art form then.
Yeah, yeah.
Now they still have cartoons and newspapers, but I read them, but a lot of people don't read newspapers.
Yeah, and they still have, like, Peanuts. Mm-hmm. It's been 25 and a half
Beetle
years.
Bailey.
Well, Beetle Bailey's sons, I almost said. Moore Walker's sons took over.
Yeah,
like,
but
writing
it's still shocking they kept it this long.
I love Beetle Bailey.
I know.
And here's the irony of Beetle Bailey. He started off, I have a book of, like, the original stuff. All that's up there is my figure. I think the book might be down there. But he started out in college, and he joined the military because women love a guy in uniform. So he joined in, like, 51.
Okay.
Like, around the time of Korea.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to take that out.
So Korea, Vietnam, any conflicts before Desert Storm, whatever it was in Afghanistan.
All of the Middle East.
Yeah, all these conflicts over the past 75 years almost. Beetle Bailey never went to war. He was always still training. He might still be a private after probably 74 years.
They knew he wasn't going to make it in combat. They didn't want to risk it.
But before Beetle Bailey, they had Sad Sack, which was a comic strip created by a military guy about a character who, like, was super goofy, you know, kind of like Beetle Bailey. And then they made a Sad Sack movie in 1957 or 58 starring one of your favorite actors of all time, Cinderfella.
Really?
Yeah, Jerry Lewis was Sad Sack in a Sad Sack movie.
I forgot he acted besides that movie.
Yeah, really.
I knew that, but after watching that documentary, I only think of him as a director.
Oh, yeah, I understand. But he directed himself a lot.
But I just forget that he acted.
Yeah. So Jerry Lewis was actually in one of the early, I mean, if you count, like, Dick Tracy and Flash Gordon, there was comic strip movies before that. But one of the first non-like adventure comic strip movies would be Sad Sack, and it was Jerry Lewis, the biggest star at the time.
Right,
it's kind of crazy.
50s, yeah.
And so, you know, Jim Davis would have grown up watching these, and there's also a panther on the loose at this campsite. Okay. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked.
Back to the story.
Yes.
When they get to the campsite, they get ready for the day. They set up the tent. The tent is not even big enough for John, and they said it was for 3, which, by the way, why would you buy a 3-person tent when you have 2 pets? Buy a 2-person tent.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
You don't need the extra space unless you're huge. He might just be really tall. We don't really see him next to other people.
Yeah, that's true, because even with the other, with the camp rangers, the park rangers, he was sitting, you're right.
So he might just be real tall and wanted that. I don't know. But he was setting that up, and then Garfield, he went and got the water, but there's a fish in it, so he accidentally caught a fish. So he was like, oh, I'm kind of hungry. So he dumped out the water and then handed it to John, and John was like, ew, what is this?
Yeah, the coffee pot. He's like, there's a fish in here.
Yes. And then Garfield ate the fish, which, why is he eating raw fish when he doesn't eat mice? I know he's not a mouser, like he said, but, like, if you're going to eat raw fish, what's the difference between eating a raw fish and a mouse?
I don't know. I guess sushi, maybe it's how it's prepared. Raw. And I realize he did not prepare it at all. He did not prepare it at all. I realize this.
Alive swimming down your esophagus is not prepared in any way.
That is true.
Raw, cut up, and butchered is different than raw swimming.
That is very true. Like, still staring at you. Like,
eyes and brains still attached. Bones all still there. Like,
tail.
Fins are still there.
Yeah.
No,
Scales.
that's very different.
Yeah.
And then later, they watch the sunset, and Garfield's like, I hate this. John's like, oh, I love this. Yeah. The sunset's so pretty. All the oranges and the yellows and the red.
And Garfield, of course, is like, you just described lasagna.
It's like, I miss lasagna. And then he's like, and then John's like, let's go listen to the radio. So he turns on the radio. There's a panther on the loose by Lake
Woebegone. Woebegone.
Yeah, I don't know. Yes. They said it quickly, so it didn't connect in my brain. It's 3 words.
Yeah.
Until I saw it written.
But yeah, well, when they see it, they show it written, it's 1 word, but it is Woebegone. Yeah.
Well, it is 1 word here, but I just didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't really understand what they said. So there's a panther on the loose, and John's like, we'll be fine. It's a couple miles away, as if a panther can't run a couple miles in a couple minutes, but that's fine. So then they go to sleep for the night. And Garfield sleeping in the tent, and Odie sleeping at John's feet, which do not fit in the tent, which is why I said he was tall. Now, he tended to look like a child-sized tent, so maybe he's a regular-sized adult, and he just bought a 3.
He might just be really bad at putting tents up.
He might have been a 3-foot tent, and he thought it was 3 people.
That could be. He may have
just like not read it right.
Yes,
I don't know. But then in the morning, Odie licks his feet and tickles him, so him and Garfield get caught up in the tent, so it's not even up. So does he put it back up? Because it's up later.
He must have. Because see, here's now, like, after they go into the lake, Garfield goes off on his own, and then he's worried about wild animals, and he runs into a rabbit and a beaver.
Also, forgot to say this, the Rangers warned him about a wild beaver. They said the only animal to worry about is a wild beaver, which Garfield asked about animals, and then the ranger answered.
Yeah, that is weird. You're right.
But that's neither here nor there. That's fine.
You're right.
So then he meets the rabbit and the beaver. The beaver's the one who's supposed to be the wild one, not the panther.
Yeah.
And one of the beaver's friends got eaten by the panther, so the beaver has PTSD and is freaking out about it, telling him about it. And then the rabbit's like, he's the only one to meet him and live. So then they're panicking about every sound. They're all Garfield-sized. And they're all the same height and weight as Garfield. So he really does not seem overweight to me.
And look at how realistic this panther looks. It's actually some good...
Yeah. That looks like something out of Super Friends, for sure.
It kind of does, yeah.
I don't know. There's just... The way that they did that. We're like He-Man or something.
Yeah, because there were panthers in He-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or even, did you ever see Thundercats? Yeah, Panthera. It could be Panthera from Thundercats.
Just the animation style, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because that's when all those things were coming out and popular.
That's probably why they picked a panther.
Probably, yeah.
But yes, panther on the loose. It's near their campsite because when Odie licks their feet, they roll down a hill into a lake. So then John and Garfield pop up. They're at Lake Woebegone.
Yes.
Which is where the panther is. It's not that far. It's down the hill.
Yeah.
I don't think that John knew where it was and was just praying it wasn't close.
Yeah.
And didn't want to leave. So Garfield's gone after that. He doesn't like being wet, and he was upset with John, so he's like, I'm just going to go somewhere else. So then they disappear. So I'm assuming during that time, John puts the tent back up.
He must have, because now Odie is with Garfield.
Yeah, Odie disappeared immediately after. Like, he just ran up the hill and dipped. I don't know where he went.
Something tells me that Odie was a part of Destiny's Child at one point in time, because he's a survivor.
Yeah.
He is. Because I think Odie would survive a nuclear holocaust somehow. Like, he would be, like, the main character of Fallout.
He would. Like, he'd be mutated.
Yeah.
But he would still be there.
Yes.
Yes.
So now the park rangers are looking for the panther, and they have a shotgun.
It's a dart gun.
A dart gun. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they're not gonna murder anything in a kid's cartoon. Also,
the panther's from the zoo.
Oh, yeah, it escaped
the
zoo.
So they don't want to kill a zoo animal.
Wait, so why aren't, like, the zoo keepers...
They probably are also trying to get him, and there's probably a bunch of people trying to get them.
Your favorite scene when Garfield and Odie are running.
Yes, so Garfield and Odie finds Garfield because the other 2 animals he was with, the beaver and the rabbit, run away, and then Garfield hops into a tree stump, which crazy, it was so hollow, and there's a hole in it, and Odie licks him, and he's like, oh my god, I'm dead. Oh, I'm not dead, I was just licked. Oh my god, it's Odie. So then Odie goes into the tree stump with him because they hear rustling. The rustling is the two-park rangers, and we find out the rangers are looking for
the killer panther.
Yes. Oh, also forgot to say this. While they're at the lake, they go to the rangers go to the campsite, and they put a note on a tree, or like a little
a stick
or something in the ground, and it blows into the fire ashes and blows away. But it says, killer panther on the loose, must evacuate immediately.
But then it gets destroyed, and now Garfield and Odie got back to John, and they're trying to tell him they need to leave. But of course, John, now he can't understand them. Oh my god!
See, he just hides under the tent.
He's hiding in the tent, and so now the panther is at the campground, and John is hiding in the tent, but his feet are hanging out the bottom of the tent, and Odie is on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! And they go. Oh, they're now out of the tent. So the panther is clawing up the tent. John is trying to tell Odie to get in the car.
Garfield climbed up a tree before all of this happened.
Yes, the most athletic we've ever seen Garfield.
He was sprinting faster than Odie and then climbed up a tree. I'm like, what is happening? Life or death, he can run. What is going on?
Yeah. So the panther just clawed up John's passenger window.
Yes.
Or the driver's side window, I'm sorry.
The glass getting scratched was the actual sound of glass getting scratched. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
And then then the panther headbutts it, and then he tries to scratch John.
Yeah.
And he got his clothes.
He did. That is actually some good animation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, now here's Garfield. His claws are out. Wow, look at that. Garfield jumps on top of the panther and starts massaging his back.
He starts scratching and biting his back, and then he gets thrown off of him, but he distracted him away from John.
But what if the panther was into it? That's the question. Oh, now the Rangers are coming up with the dart gun.
Yep.
And luckily, Garfield distracted the panther enough that they can shoot the dart. They get the panther. They knock him out.
But is he knocked out?
As far as we know.
Oh.
You know what's really crazy? If you look at the way this is animated, it's done like how Disney did like Robin Hood and a lot of their films.
See the lines?
Yeah, the Xeroxing effect. How they Xerox the pencils onto the cells. I like that too. Because I love Disney's Robin Hood. Which reminds me, I was driving the other day. I saw a dead fox on the side of the road. I got really sad. Yeah.
I love foxes.
Me too. Me too. They always look incredible. Usually driving to or from work, I see one on, near where Felicia's favorite house is. On that road, there's usually one crossing or just walking up the sidewalk.
Right.
Acting like it owns the place.
Right, because where we live, there's somehow city and deer in city.
Yes.
So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's wild.
It's not like big, it's not like, New York, Philly type city, but it's definitely more of a city style. But then there's cornfields at the edge, and then there's animals.
Yeah.
So it's like a weird mix of random things.
Yeah, it is odd, but it's kind of nice to see like nature like that close.
Right.
So
sometimes it's not nice whenever you're trying to drive to school and there's deer.
That would be terrible.
It's annoying because school's in the city, but then you almost hit a deer on your way to the city.
We saw like a group of deer near my in-laws' house in the Ville. It was kind of crazy in Coatesville. Seeing like a whole bunch of deer. It was wild.
Weird.
Yeah, it was like, what?
I mean,
it kind of renews your faith.
Okay, so I was going, I think I went to Bryn Mawr, and I passed Coatesville exit. There was a dead deer on the side of the highway.
Yes.
At the Coatesville exit.
I've seen plenty of them there, yeah.
It does not shock me there was deer there, but it's weird to actually see it there.
Yeah.
But yes, just driving way past it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's quite interesting. Now, we're used to nature. Garfield is not used to nature. So then, after the panther attacks, they just, leave. There's nothing else that really happens. The Rangers say that, oh, y'all are so lucky we got here in time. And then they just leave.
Yeah, it's like the weirdest thing.
And then it ends. There's nothing else. There's no exposition.
No. I guess they go home.
I
Right?
mean,
Like,
he has no glass in his driver's window. He's got to clean out his car, but
Yeah.
he goes home. I don't know.
He's like, all right, boys, here we go.
Time to leave.
Yeah.
Not pack up the tent. Y'all
No.
ate all the food. We
Yeah.
can't leave.
Yeah.
But
It's like, this is it. This is it, guys.
they've been there less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
And he has another 6 days of maybe vacation? Question mark? I don't know. He's a cartoonist. Does he get vacation, or does he just have free reign over when he works as long as he submits it by a certain time? You never know.
Yeah, it's true.
Because they do that a lot now, but I don't know if I don't think they did that in 1984. But if you were working from home in 1984, the rules were different anyway.
That is true. Because, like, he would, like, I'm trying to think. I've read about, like, comic strip artists before, like, trying to make deadlines, and I forget who it was. It might have been Berkeley Breather, the guy who did Bloom County with Bill the Cat and stuff. How he was saying, like, he would work on stuff and then, like, FedEx in the middle of the night to, like, you know, his distributor.
Did they used to be 24 hours?
FedEx? Like, not necessarily like FedEx office, but the like FedEx,
like just the bot, like the what is it called?
Yeah, they have drop boxes.
That's the
yeah.
Yes,
They have
I was gonna say. I was gonna say mailboxes. That is not the right word. The boxes.
Yeah.
Okay. So just whenever he was done, hope, pray that nothing interrupts the mail.
Yes.
Okay. So he probably just submitted. He probably submitted what, 3 weeks worth of work. He was like, I can go on a week's vacation.
I would think so, only because like how would you be able to do that if you didn't do, like, I told you that, like, Charles Schultz used to do his stuff like 6 months in advance. So that's how he ended up dying, like, I think 2 days before the last Peanuts strip was printed, which means he had almost 6 months after he retired of retirement. So it's just weird that he would pass away like the Friday before the last Sunday strip back in 2000. It's kind of crazy.
That is weird.
And poetic in a weird way. So that would give John the time, but what I need to know, and you find out some things in Garfield and Friends later on, but I need to know, like, at this point, what comic strip is he working on? Because he's a cartoonist and he gets paid well enough that he can feed Garfield.
Yes. Also, he can keep his nice 3-bedroom house.
Yeah.
Which I know it's 1984.
Yeah, but still, it's not his family's home because they live on a farm.
And they talk about how the economy's trash in the show. So why are we like...
Yeah.
Maybe he just has maybe he's renting it and he has a good deal with his landlord.
That could be.
Or he bought it in the 70s when the economy was better.
Yeah, that could be too, because he would have been a cartoonist. Because if this is like the same timeline as like the comic strip, then, you know, he's had Garfield before 1978. 1976 even, if we're going by John.
Yeah.
The original version of it. So this would be like at least 8 years of him being a cartoonist. And he could have bought it off.
Maybe it was his
whatever.
first big purchase.
Maybe. Because think about like Doonesbury. Doonesbury, one of my favorite comic strips of all time, started in like 1970. Wow, started in 1970.
Okay.
55 years ago. And it started actually as Bull Tales, a comic strip that Gary Trudeau did when he was at Yale. And he took, like, the first few months of Doonesbury, he took some Bull Tales strips and reworked them. And that, I think, helped him, and it would help anybody, because some of like Garfield's early ones are reworked John strips.
Yes.
It helps you kind of get ahead so you can come up with new ideas and constantly be ahead. So I don't know what this has to do with John's living arrangements.
He's a cartoonist.
So I guess he would know that and be that smart. But what would his cartoon be?
He seems aloof. I don't know.
He does. He does seem very aloof. He does. He does. And we never learn until later on about Lyman. Because we know from the comic strip who Lyman is.
Okay, I think they were roommates and he moved out. And he told him to take Odie. I know they didn't say that.
But that would make the most sense because they were friends, obviously.
If they were friends, and that would make sense why Lyman would visit because they all lived together.
Yes.
But I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question because I want to see something here. Because I'm thinking there is something I remember reading. Look at all these songs that are in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs. And they play the same song.
9 songs.
I think from the first one, they play on the radio.
Yeah. So there's it won the 1985 Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program. And if it would have done that, I think it would have been because of the Panther Showdown scene.
It did.
Yeah. Because that was probably the best scene. And like we said, the way it was animated, I do like when you see the pencil lines. Because you're kind of in on the nuts and bolts of what makes the everything work. Are you looking at the names?
Yeah, the person who sang the songs is the same person who voiced the girl cat.
Yeah, Desiree Goyette.
Yes, she has a nice voice, but I didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
She has 2 Grammys. She has Betty Boop?
Betty Boop, Barbie, Nermal.
Okay.
Petunia Pig, Honey Bunny, and numerous others. Wow, for radio, television, and toys.
So she's a great voice artist.
Yeah, so she voices Nermal, but Nermal is a boy.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
That's animated. That always happens.
Yeah. Greg Berger was Ranger number 1, who was Odie. And George Wendt, who was Normal in Cheers, who just passed away a little while ago, was Ranger number 2. I think Ranger number 2 was the shorter guy.
Probably.
Yeah.
It says there's more that we didn't see because there's the last line.
Hold on, really quick. I got to point out George Wendt.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the first time you ever saw him as an actor, he was Santa Claus in A Colbert Christmas.
You know what? That makes sense. Yeah.
You can tell by looking at him now, can you?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's got the same hair, just not gray.
Yeah.
There's a last sentence. I don't know what happened. We didn't see it.
Yeah.
But they make it home, and it says, at home, Garfield is happy to have his bed and cat food instead of a tent and dried fruit. And when the doorbell rings, he answers it and faints upon seeing a tiger cub, which then leaves the house. Oh, yes, panther. I don't know why I read tiger. Panther cub, which then leaves the house, which we did not, in fact, see. No, that did not play.
No, we did not. Hold on. If you don't mind just kind of talking a little bit, I want to check something.
That's fine. But that's interesting.
Because there's a way to actually check this.
Let's see. Yeah, did it win this award? Let's look. The nominees, wow. Okay, this is all of them. Let's just go to 85.
I think these Garfield specials won a lot.
Okay, so Garfield on the Town won. Garfield in the Rough. Garfield Halloween Adventure also won. So for 3 years in a row, the Primetime Animated Emmys were all Garfield. And it's interesting because the first one, obviously, that won was On the Town, but it had Mendelsohn and Melendez as producers.
Yeah.
And then the other one, and then Jay Poynter, I don't know. He was still the producer, but they're the only people credited for it. And the other one, Phil Roman, Jay, and Jim Davis are the people who are credited for it, which is interesting. Don't know why that changed. And then in the other one, in Halloween, it's the same as Garfield in the Rough. But then Kathy also has Bill Melendez, the one in 1987. So and then Lee Mendelsohn as the 2 producers. So they all were part of it. And then they won with something that wasn't Garfield related in 1987.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just went on and did something else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but that's another comic strip.
Garfield was fighting against itself because Garfield in Paradise and Garfield Halloween Adventure were the only 2 in 86.
Came out the same year. Wow.
That's crazy. Didn't know that.
So Garfield in Paradise might be next. Not Garfield's Halloween.
They're the same year. I don't know.
Yeah. Paradise might be first. Oh, that's weird. They do cut it off. Sorry, I was checking a different version of it. And that is really wild.
And then 89, there's also 2 Garfields.
Oh, I know. His 9 Lives.
And then Babes and Bullets.
Oh.
I have that
Wait,
book.
did Babes and Bullets win?
Yes.
Oh, that's incredible. I'm glad it did.
I have that book.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You love that book. And the special's really good, too.
Mm-hmm. Madeline.
Oh, wow.
On HBO. That's like the most appropriate HBO thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, look, DuckTales was up there, too. I can't believe it.
Then Garfield Thanksgiving and Feline Fantasies both came out in 1990.
And they lost. Look, The Simpsons is now in the running. So The Simpsons also, believe it or not, animated by Film Roman at the time. So, wow.
Yes.
That is actually awesome.
Then the Simpsons were fighting each other. I mean, there was 2 Garfields, 2 Simpsons, and a Charlie Brown. And Charlie Brown was 2 people who were part of Garfield, so that must have been crazy.
Why Charlie Brown? Why is a really good special about a girl getting cancer?
I feel like I've probably seen it.
Yeah, it's actually a really emotional. Hey, Garfield gets. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I don't know. It was 91. And then Ren and Stimpy showed up in 92.
Oh my God, your girl.
Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall's bedtime stories.
Yes.
Wow. Which is obviously, the first episode was actually The Shining.
Lovely bedtime story.
Yeah, what a great bedtime
Put me to
story
sleep.
for kids. Yeah.
Inspector Gadget.
And then look, Batman the Animated Series gets in there in 92, which is tough because, God, that show was so good.
Then Ren and Stimpy.
And look, Liquid Television.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you may not know this, but Liquid Television is where Beavis and Butthead started. It's where...
Yes, I see that.
I don't know if Eon Flux started on there. There was a lot of things that were on there that were just incredible.
I figured MTV that it would be Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
What else is here?
Duckman? Wow.
Ren and Stimpy had a lot of things on here.
How?
A Flintstone Family Christmas? What? Because it's pre-Jesus?
Bam.
Dexter's Laboratory, Rugrats.
Dexter's Lab was great. Rugrats is great, too. You know what? A Rugrats Passover, that's a great episode.
Are they Jewish?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, good for them.
Yeah, they are. And it's great. And that's why it's great, because it's showing, like, something different. Even though it's still Judeo-Christian.
Is he Moses?
Yes, Tommy's Moses.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Yeah. And look, Tiny Toons, Pinky and the Brain.
It won.
Pinky and the Brain.
Treehouse of Horrors, what, 6?
Yeah, that is 6. Wow.
Cow and Chicken.
Wow.
Forgot about that.
Dave Feiss, who created Cow and Chicken, he did a movie with Berkeley Breathed recently. It was an animated film that nobody watched, unfortunately.
What is it?
It's about Hit Pig. It's about a pig that's like a hitman.
I figured that.
Yeah. It's based on a book that Berkeley Breathed had done, like Something in Pickles. It's about this elephant and this pig, and the pig is like a hitman.
I feel like I've heard of the book, but not the movie.
You probably have. The movie came out within the past year, and I haven't watched it yet because I wanted to read Bloom County first.
Okay.
So
King of the Hill entered in 1997.
Oh, yeah. I think that was the first year it was on, 96, 97.
It's The Simpsons, Dexter's Lab, Duckman, King of the Hill, and Rugrats. So everything's the same except for King of the Hill.
Yeah.
And then...
The Simpsons.
Yep, Cow and Chicken, Dexter's Lab, King of the Hill, South Park came in 1998.
Yeah, that makes sense because it started like 96, 97.
Well, they're on 27, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Wait, what the episode is Big Gay Al's Big Gay Boat Ride.
Nice.
There's a really great documentary about South Park called 6 Days to Air, which shows them like what they do, because in a week, they like when a new episode comes out, they work on it in the 6 days before it comes out. It's incredible to watch, to see their creative process and how they do it.
Does Phil Roman sleep?
I don't think he does.
Because he is 1998.
Yeah.
He was doing The Simpsons and King of the Hill.
Yeah, his animation company was huge. Believe it or not, like...
That's crazy. Oh, King of the Hill won the next year Futurama.
Oh, wait, was that 99?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's when Futurama started.
Mm-hmm.
God, I believe it or not, I should be getting a book.
Fox.
The Art of Futurama.
Have the PJs. I don't know what that is.
The PJs, believe it or not, it was
I've seen that. I just didn't know what that was.
It was a stop motion animated. It was like claymation, and it was on Fox.
Well, yeah, I saw that.
Fox really did. Care about the creativity and the work behind animation. So I was checking my email because I should be getting a Art of Futurama book.
Okay. And the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, wow.
Nice. We love Cartoon Network showing up because everything else here was Fox.
Fox or Nickelodeon.
Yep.
Yeah, and believe it or not, Klasky Zupo, who did Rugrats, also did the first season or two of The Simpsons, and then it went to Phil Roman. Oh, Tom McFarlane's Spawn.
More than an hour. Those were under an hour.
But if you notice, it was on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have like Fox, HBO, and Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, like kind of, they had the monopoly on the stuff. Family Guy?
Family Guy entered in 2000.
Yeah.
Interesting. Everything else is the same. I mean, South Park's in here.
Yeah.
South Park, Family Guy, and The Simpsons are here. So you can tell animation is changing, but the Powerpuff Girls is still here.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know. Downtown.
I don't know what that is. Oh, MTV Downtown.
So basically not child appropriate if it's on MTV.
Yeah, probably not. Simpsons again, as told by Ginger.
I haven't heard of that.
Oh, look, it's Klasky Zupo, so it's Nickelodeon.
No, I know this show because the girl is familiar.
Does she kind of look like the same characters from like Wild Thornberrys and Rugrats?
Yes.
Okay. Because they had that style.
Yes.
Oh, what a great episode of Futurama, Snoo Snoo. Do you remember that episode? Death by Snoo Snoo?
Kind of, yeah.
It's with... I always want to call him Troy McClure, but it's obviously not him. It's the Zap Brannigan.
Yes, I do remember this. Yes.
Zap Brannigan.
And then King of the Hill. So basically, once the 90s hit, all of the winners of the awards that Garfield won turned to more adult-type animation.
Yes. Roswell That Ends Well. Isn't that the episode where Fry finds out he's his own grandpa?
I think so, because he goes and then they have the nuclear explosion testing right after he finds out.
Yes.
Yes.
You see Bill Odenkirk?
I did.
That's Bob Odenkirk's younger brother.
I kind of figured.
He was on some episodes of Mr. Show, but he became a writer and producer on The Simpsons and Futurama. So just more Odenkirk greatness.
Kim Possible, 2003.
Wow.
Love that. SpongeBob, even though SpongeBob's been coming out forever.
Chris Bailey from Kim Possible, he was the creative guy behind the Clerks animated series.
Okay.
Like the art style and everything.
Samurai Jack.
Well, he and the guy who designed Danny Phantom, Clone Wars.
The original Clone Wars won the more than an hour section of that. That's crazy.
And look what's crazy. Yeah, because
it's chapters 1 through 20. It's the whole show.
Yeah, the entire show is what... Wow.
But yeah, animation, what won? Wow, the next ones. Never mind. That was not the whole show because in the next year, Clone Wars won again with chapters 21 through 25.
It's probably some of the best Star Wars stuff.
I do. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I love that show.
Boo, right? Wasn't that his name?
I think so.
Was it Boo?
I think so.
Blue. It was Blue.
Yes.
I'm sorry, it was Blue.
That right there, though. I love that show.
Yeah, that was a great show. That was really innovative.
Avatar, The Last Airbender. I just watched that episode 2 days ago.
Is that the one?
The City of Walls and Secrets. That's the one in Ba Sing Se.
Is that the one that's like the really sad episode?
No.
Oh,
that's the one where everyone is living their own life. No, that's the one. Actually, no, maybe it is. It's one of the ones in Ba Sing Se. I watched the whole saga and cried.
Yeah. Look, that show will get you.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I was like, I can't.
If you have 2 eyes and a heart.
If you have emotions.
Yeah. Remember that 30 Rock episode where it was early on where Tracy Jordan asked Jack Donaghy, he's like, you like Phil Collins? And Jack says, I have 2 ears and a heart, don't I? So.
American Dad in 2009.
Wow.
Foster's.
God, Foster's was so good.
Prep and Landing. I don't know what that is.
That John Krasinski movie, If, that came out, Imaginary Friends, that reminded me, I'm like, they're just ripping off Foster's.
Yes. I didn't watch it. The Cleveland Show.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So they're really getting into like Seth MacFarlane stuff here.
Yeah. 2011 had Futurama, Cleveland Show, Robot Chicken, Simpsons, South Park.
Penguins of Madagascar. That was a great show, too.
But that was 2012. 2011, all of these are adult animation. Not a single one of these is kids.
You're right.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a turn. Oh, Bob's Burgers, 2012.
Oh, yeah.
So Penguins of Madagascar won in 2012. That's the first kids thing to win in a minute.
That's true.
But it's Penguins of Madagascar, American Dad, Bob's Burgers, Futurama, and The Simpsons.
Yeah. And I see where it ends. Okay.
Kung Fu Panda.
Legends of Awesomeness. That's right.
Regular show. So we getting into more kid stuff now.
Yeah.
But South Park still won. It was South Park, Bob's Burgers, Kung Fu Panda, Regular Show, and The Simpsons.
Regular Show.
I've watched all of Regular Show.
I've seen some of the art style from like the original pilot of Bob's Burgers, and it reminds me of the art from the Regular Show. So I wonder if the same guy designed the characters. They wouldn't say.
No, not here.
But I wonder.
Okay, 2014 is a bit of a mix. It's Bob's Burgers, Archer, Futurama, South Park, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles randomly.
Yeah. But
it's the Manhattan Project is the name of the episode. Obviously, they're in New York, so that makes sense. But is there a bomb? What is happening? Right? Like, there's no way there could not be a bomb.
And the weird thing is, if you go up, so like Archer and Bob's Burgers, they're both, my God, the guy who does Archer's voice and Bob's voice, who was the son in Dr. Katz and the coach in Home Movies.
Yes, just the voice actor, man.
Ever watch Home Movies? Oh, what a great show.
That was not on here.
No, that would have been early 2000s when that was on.
Over the Garden Wall. I love that show. Archer, Bob's Burgers, Simpsons, South Park. So Over the Garden Wall won, but everything else was not. So I can't tell what they want to do, if they want it to be adult or kids.
Yeah, that's weird, because why don't you have 2 separate categories?
Right? Phineas and Ferb is in here in 2016.
Because some of the time, like, I'm thinking of Garfield and Friends. Like, we were talking about it before. Some of that writing is more adult than it is for kids.
Sophia the First.
Wow.
The children's Disney Channel show.
It's up against South Park.
That's the pilot of the show.
Wow.
Okay. Bob's Burgers, Archer, Simpsons, Sophia the First, and South Park. I do like Sophia the First.
Now wait a second. Hold on. The next year, I can tell because I see Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon. It's Rick and Morty.
But then Big Hero 6, the series.
Yeah.
I feel like this should be split. Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons, and South Park.
John Benjamin is that guy whose name I couldn't think of. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
2019, we have Simpsons, Adventure Time, Big Mouth.
Wow.
Bob's Burgers and BoJack Horseman. So you're telling me
Adventure Time, and that's not even really a kid show.
It's the least kids show you could get.
Yeah.
It's still definitely,
but it's still more kids than the other ones. Look, Rick and Morty again.
Rick and Morty.
Big Mouth.
Bob's Burgers, BoJack Horseman, and The Simpsons. We had no hope that year.
And Primal, that was supposed to, it won. But Jendy Tartakovsky's Primal was supposed to be really
It's on
good.
Adult Swim, though.
Yeah, you're right.
I've never heard of it, but it's on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
So
it's animated really well. Like Jenny Tartakovsky, there is actually, believe it or not, somebody posted an animatic from 2013 of the entire thing of a Popeye movie that they never made, directed by Jenny Tartakovsky. But they have all the voices, all the music, and everything. And it's actually a really great movie. And I wish they would have made it because I love Popeye. I was talking about it earlier. That's why I made Super Popeye Brothers.
Yes.
So
this is Primal, Big Mouth, Bob's Burgers, The Simpsons, and South Park.
Wow.
We love no children's things in the animation category.
What is Arcane?
Arcane is an anime that's on Netflix.
Oh, okay. So it's not a kid's show.
It's like a teen adult show, but it's not not children's.
Yeah.
It's based off of a video game, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's based off
it sounds like it should be if it's not.
So Arcane, Bob's Burgers, Rick and Morty, The Simpsons, What If? That's a kid's show, kind of.
Sort of. I mean, it's Marvel superheroes, right?
It's enough of a kid's show, I'll accept it.
What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands?
Why is that like the episode they picked, though?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
It could be because, like I was saying earlier, Benedict Cumberbatch is great in everything. Because he would have voiced the character in that.
Yeah.
Treehouse of Horror 33. 33, I'm sorry.
This is from 2023.
Yeah, yes. It's from 2023, but it's 33.
And then Bob's Burgers, Intergalactic. I don't know what that is.
I think that's, isn't that the, it's the
Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi thing. It's on Netflix.
I didn't know Kid Cudi did that. I like him.
It's animated like the Spider-Verse movie.
I see that.
Yeah, I never watched it, but it's supposed to be incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Primal and Rick and Morty. I don't know if it's kids or not. I can't judge that based off of Netflix, but nothing else is here. And then
you mean Intergalactic? I don't think it is.
Of course it's not.
I think he had an album come out, and it's sort of like a long-form thing for the album, if I'm not mistaken.
He did make new music. That wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
I say new like 2 years ago. It wasn't 2 years ago, but...
And Kid Cudi was great on Comedy Bang Bang when he was like the music guy.
Okay.
X-Men 97.
So we have Blue Eye Samurai, which is
Netflix.
Mm-hmm, Bob's Burgers, Scavenger's Reign, which is on Max. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Simpsons, and then X-Men 97.
Wow.
I think, because I think that Arcane, Bob's Burgers,
that would
it's
be
like the split. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Wait, so who won that year?
The Blue Eye Samurai.
Blue Eye Samurai, okay.
This was last year.
Yeah.
And then this year, we don't have who won, but we have nominees.
Yeah. So, Arcane, Bob's Burgers.
Common Side Effects.
Oh, yeah. That's a newer show on Adult Swim, yeah.
Love, Death, and Robots and The Simpsons. None of these are children's shows.
Yeah.
What happened in the 90s that they decided that... See, I know that adult animation is obviously a big industry. If the Primetime Emmy Awards have been going to adult animation minus like 4 for the past 25 years longer.
Well, I guess what happened was, and we can make this assessment now. So these Garfield specials we're watching now would have been in prime time.
Yes.
Like those Kathy specials, the Charlie Brown specials.
Yes.
All of those. And they stopped, I believe, once... You had like The Simpsons. I think The Simpsons changed the game because The Simpsons started. Then after that, you had Ren and Stimpy, which started out on like Sunday mornings on Nickelodeon as like a kids show, but then they would show it in primetime on MTV. And then you had Liquid Television, which, like I said, started Beavis and Butthead, and obviously Beavis and Butthead has the greatest spin-off series of all time.
Daria.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's like, it's just weird. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you going to?
No, I was looking at this. So
I think they just stopped really having primetime specials and just primetime animation. And because it's primetime, everything became more adult oriented.
I guess that would make sense. But I'm looking, and after, honestly, 1990, The Simpsons won. And kind of after that, The Simpsons won multiple times.
Yeah.
But, like, it was really just a toss-up because Batman the Animated Series won in 93. I don't know what Roman City is, but it was on PBS. I assume it's children's if it's on PBS and it's animated. But then The Simpsons won in 95. Pinky and the Brain in 96.
Yeah.
So there's some kids, but The Simpsons again. The Simpsons again.
Yeah.
King of the Hill, which is definitely not children's. And then The Simpsons again. And The Simpsons won, like, 4 more times. And then there was only, like, 2 other kids' shows to win. So, I do know the way that we ingested media changed, but it is wild to me that the children's productions companies started to make teen and adult shows, and that's what started winning over the children's shows. Because, like, Cartoon Network had so many more shows besides Foster, Over the Garden Wall, and Adventure Time, and regular show.
Yes, they did. And they had a lot of great shows, too. Like,
I'm surprised Steven Universe wasn't on here. Maybe it was too gay.
Maybe.
It was legitimately, it was probably too gay.
And that's funny. And that's terrible. Is it really, like, that? But, like, do you think that would change the way people...
I think it's a cult classic. I don't think it's a regular classic because of it. And I say classic like it didn't end for like 5-6 years ago. But like people watch it now like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine watching this when it came out. I could. But thanks. But like, I don't know. It's one of those, it's weird. That's definitely a change in culture though. Looking at that because the one year was the Cleveland Show, The Simpsons, American Dad.
Yeah.
King of the Hill and something else or something like that.
Yeah, it was like dominated by Fox shows.
Yeah, and it's all the Fox adult ones oriented or wow. That's not what I wanted to say.
Yeah. It's all like Fox Sunday nights, whatever. Like they dominated adult animation for a while.
And then they probably got the most views and that's why they were on the list.
Yeah, they were probably going by popularity.
I would assume so, which would make sense why some of the kids ones, that makes sense why Kim Possible was on there, if that was the case.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised Rugrats was only on there twice. And like, I don't know, Arthur wasn't on there. I know most people at my age who had, PBS? Is that what that was on?
Yeah, I think so.
Watched it. And then Hey Arnold.
Oh, Hey Arnold was great.
But that was in the 90s, so Ren and Stimpy was taking that spot. And some other things were taking that spot.
Yeah, that's right. Ren and Stimpy would have, or even Rugrats, because there was some Rugrats on there. Because Rugrats and then All Grown Up were like the darlings of Nickelodeon. Like you could look at that and be like, that's the pinnacle of what we do. And Steven Silver, I believe, is the name of the animation designer who did like Refined Clerks and Kim Possible and Danny Phantom.
I love Danny Phantom, but it was 100% not popular enough to make it on that list.
And that's sad because Danny Phantom was a great show. Like
I watched it like 2 years ago when I got Paramount Plus again. It was great.
Like Butch Hartman, who did Fairly Odd Parents.
Also a great show.
Yeah.
Love that show.
Like anything Butch Hartman did was incredible.
I'm going to ignore the Nick Jonas movie, but the show's great.
Wait, there's a Nick Jonas movie?
Yeah, it's a live action Fairly Odd Parents movie. It's terrible.
Wait, does Nick Jonas play?
Yes. What's his? It starts with a T.
Timmy?
That's his
Timmy
name.
Turner?
Timmy, yes.
I thought it was Drake Bell.
It might be Drake Bell. That might be who I'm
Yeah, because
either way.
Because Drake Bell is, the Nickelodeon guy.
They are the same person in my mind.
Oh, okay.
I watched Quiet on Set, so that's different.
Okay.
But literally when I see them on screen, I can't tell the difference.
Wow.
Look up pictures of them. They look the same.
Wait, Nick Jonas and Drake Bell?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
At least in this movie came out 2011.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I could not for the life of me tell the difference.
Hold on. I'll actually put it together. Maybe people have them side by side.
Maybe. Probably not.
That would be great.
That would be lovely.
Let's do images here. Well, that's Drake Bell.
That's both Drake Bell. That's all Drake Bell.
So wait, is this Nick Jonas right here?
Yes, and then that's Drake Bell.
Yeah, actually, look. Yeah,
they look
even the hair
really similar.
Yeah, they do.
And out of all the Jonas Brothers, he's the one who looks most like him. So at least I picked the one who looked most like him.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Kevin wouldn't look like him, right?
Well, no. And also, they're at Good Burger. What is happening in that picture?
I'm not sure. They're performing on the All That reboot. So this is like newer.
Yeah, it looks.
But yeah, actually, yeah. If his head was down a little bit, you might not be able to. You would think they were brothers.
They look enough that they could be brothers.
Yeah.
They look more like brothers than Kevin looks like their brother.
Honestly, if Nick Jonas and Drake Bell were in Drake and Josh together, I would be. Okay. I would think like, oh, they're brothers.
That and that. Different hairstyles, but the face is the same.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The era that it was in.
That's crazy.
So anyway, sorry I said the wrong person, but they look real similar.
Yeah. But if you look here, even when they're younger, they're making
the same face.
They are. You're right. It's just different hairstyle.
Yeah, anyway.
Wow, that is wild.
I digress. Didn't mean to be wrong about that, but it's fine. Either way, the movie's not good, so I didn't remember.
Wow. And like, he could be like, if they moved this one and put him in there, I would think that all three of these would be brothers. These two.
Yeah.
And Drake Bell. Wow.
He literally just looks like one of them.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I apologize. I think it was Drake Bell, though.
It probably was. He was actually on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And it was after that like superhero movie where he played like that Spider-Man type character that got bit by like a wasp or whatever.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
It was the one that was like a parody one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So it was actually early Kevin Hart. He played his like crippled friend or something.
I didn't even realize Kevin Hart was in that movie.
Yeah, Kevin Hart's in that movie.
Okay.
And Christopher McDonald is the villain. He's in like Happy Gilmore 2. But you may remember him as one of the T-Birds from Grease 2. The one singing Reproduction. You know, the tall one.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Not Adrian Zemed, but the other guy.
The one who actually did have sex.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yes. So, that's funny that all I had to do is say that. You're like, I know exactly.
I remember that scene vividly, actually.
Yeah. So, do you like Grease too?
It's funny, but it's not better than one.
I know. Look, you know that's one of Felicia's favorite.
I know.
movies.
I don't hate watching it, so it's fine.
Yeah, and it's actually not bad.
No, it's just that song gets me every time.
Yeah, because it's like,
but
what?
See, okay, that's something they would put in an animated show now.
Yes.
But back in 1989, they wouldn't. No,
that's true.
So it's weird, though.
Yeah.
I still think that it's weird that it changed, and it changed abruptly. 89, Garfield won. 90, The Simpsons won. Then everything else is based off of The Simpsons. It was like a decade change. Gonna change everything.
And you know what? Keeping that in mind going forward, we'll have to see how Garfield changed. More Garfield and Friends. Because that would have been competing directly with The Simpsons, not necessarily for like Emmys at that point, but writing wise. And maybe that's why Mark Evanier.
Sure.
Evanier. Our guy Mark.
Evanier.
Yeah. M.E. Our guy M.E. That might be why his writing, like towards the end of the show, was like sharper and like funnier, like for us watching it now.
Yeah. It's definitely, he definitely got more sarcastic.
He did. And it was just great though.
Yeah.
So,
but it's definitely weird seeing, like, watching the specials.
Yeah.
This came out mid-'80s, but you can tell very 70s inspired.
Yes.
By the everything. I don't know. If you watch it, you'd know what I mean. I can't describe it without you seeing it. Just, like, the actual animation style, because obviously the music is more 70s than 80s. There's no, like, synth guitars or weirdness happening.
Yeah.
And it's colorful, but it's not colorful in an eclectic 80s way. It's colorful in a more hippie type 70s way.
Yeah.
And, like, the backgrounds are basic watercolors still. They're not advanced actual animated backgrounds. They're just a painting right now. So once that changes, I think that also affects the rest of the show. And that's why probably the house looks different. But we see more of the house in Babes and Bullets than in any of them, I think.
Yeah, that's true. Because Babes and Bullets, like, he's in the closet and he's like, I'm bored. Bored.
Yeah.
And, you know, he
adventures.
Yes, you're right.
But then it's actually animated. It's not like he goes in the closet and there's nothing in there. He goes in the closet and that's where the story starts. And that's different because they open the closet in this one and it's just like one thing you can see and then him throwing stuff out of it. The rest of the closet is not animated. So they changed that over 5 years, which 5 years isn't long enough time for them to change it for sure. If you're going to. But it's just interesting evolution. Because I guess, 85, 84? When did The Simpsons come out?
Simpsons, they started on Tracy Ullman in 87. In December of 89 was the Christmas special.
Okay.
And then in January of 1990 is when the first season, that's why the first season is only like 13 episodes or something because
Okay.
it was only half a season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was right around the time the show started.
Yeah, it actually, Garfield and Friends started in September of 88.
Yes.
So they would have been on for a little over a year by the time, maybe a year and a half in like TV time, by the time The Simpsons actually started.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then after The Simpsons, they're like, oh, wait, adults like animation too.
Yeah.
And then that's all they made.
Yeah.
At least like Fox and
Yeah.
HBO did a little bit of both for a while, but now they only do adult.
Yeah, because around the time HBO was also doing The Adventures of Tintin.
Yes.
Adapting like old Tintin comics from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. But The Adventures of Tintin had more of the quality and the style of Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, I always thought it looked kind of weird for the context.
Yeah.
But
because Tintin, in My Hero Academia, one of the big three, the blonde dude, he has like Tintin's face. So that's like the art style for Tintin, and I think he's drawn that way as an homage to Tintin.
The blonde dude is really funny.
Yeah, that's the one.
I know, but you saying that, he's like the main character.
Like in the show? Or out of the big three?
Out of the big three.
Oh, yeah, he is, yeah. Oh, yeah, because he like loses his clothes whenever he like goes through solid objects and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Yeah, he's a great character though.
No, he's my favorite one. He's actually he's not a main one. He's just the main one in my head.
I forget his name. That's terrible. It's been a while since I've seen.
I haven't watched that show in probably 3 years.
Yeah.
But I do still like it. And I watched the first few seasons, but then I didn't catch up and then a new season came out and then I just didn't start again.
I think Vigilantes is now animated.
Okay.
Which I believe is like, if I'm not mistaken,
it's a spin-off comic, right?
It's a spin-off comic.
Manga, but
yes. It seems like it's All Might when he's a kid.
That's what I thought.
Because that's how like the one character dresses, right? Like whatever All Might's name is, I forget his name.
I forget.
He looks like a crackhead when he's not All Might, so I forget his name.
Well, that's because he has like no stomach and like a wound this big, and like he
does, and his hair is on.
His hair flops down. Yeah. He can't eat food because he has no stomach, so his eye bags are just.
Yeah. He just looks rough.
He looks on death's door.
Yes.
When he doesn't look like he's on steroids.
Yes. Yeah, I am here.
He's great.
Yeah.
But I forget the person's name. He's the one who always has a smile on his face.
Yes, no matter what.
Yeah, and he's like eerie with that. Yeah. He is my favorite one though. During the training session, wherever they're training to get their hero's license, he's my favorite one of the three.
He is a great character. Oh yeah, because see, I think this is him when he's a kid.
Yes.
Because if you notice, what he's wearing looks just like...
It's exactly how he looks like as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let me look at these photos here. Because normally they have, like, these things. Like, hey, July 15th was Izuku Midoriya's birthday.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's in the manga. I have a few of them. It has everyone's birthday.
Yeah, why did I go to All Might? I was hoping it would say his actual name. Believe it or not.
It's not going to do that.
I wish it would, though.
Well, he's not in All Might form there, so it should.
That must be from Vigilantes, this guy. Yeah, Captain Celebrity. Oh, yeah, it is from Vigilantes.
Yes, it's currently airing. Bakugo. He's the same birthday as some other people.
Shoto Todoroki. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm. He is just Zuko.
Isn't it Best Jeanist?
No, not Best Jeanist. He is also funny, though. It's funny how they tried to make him like a real character.
Here we go.
Oh.
Togata.
Yes.
Mirio.
Mirio?
Mirio Togata.
Mirio is just how people mispronounce Mario. That's why
He has the same birthday as Deku. July 15th.
Yeah.
What? So why didn't they have it this past July 15th? I had to go to like last year to see it. Yeah.
Because people don't care about him? I don't know. Maybe he's not alive in the show anymore. I have no idea.
Anyway, he has Tintin's face on purpose.
Yes, he does.
On purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Mirio is how like non-Italians from New York say Mario.
Obviously, the best character.
Ah,
Diva.
yes.
Diva.
Belly button laser.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like, I think...
Cheese. Like, what else is he? He's French. I don't know.
I think it was Seth Meyers who said during COVID that Moderna sounds like Medea trying to pronounce Madonna.
Okay.
So yeah, Mario, Mario.
Mario.
Yeah, wow.
Accented people trying to say Mario.
Yeah, that's funny. That's terrible.
It's like,
oh my.
it might be a traditional Japanese name, and I've just never heard it.
That could be, because I mean, a lot of their names are traditional Japanese names.
That
right?
might be why Mario is Mario.
So do you think then that this rise in adult animation, adult-oriented animation, led to the popularity of anime in the United States because of how, the subject matters are usually more adult, even if the show looks like it's made for kids?
Well, okay. So I was actually just talking about this because, I don't know, people have weird feelings about anime. Some people hate it, and I don't know why, because when I ask them, they say, I just don't like it. That's not a reason. And you don't have to like it, but why are you hating on it if you've never watched it?
Yeah, that's true.
Stupid. Anyway, whatever. Like, you don't have to watch it. I'm not forcing you. I don't care.
Well, isn't that sort of the same argument about, like, censorship? Like, why are you trying to ban books when all you have to do is not read it?
I wrote 3 essays about that.
Okay,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a curious question that I've had for a while.
Anime has been popular in Japan since what?
I want to say
the 60s?
I want to say the 60s because of you had, like, I think it's like, obviously Speed Racer.
Mm-hmm.
Astro Boy may have been before that. And there was something 8. I don't know if it was Hero 8 or what. I just got to look it up here because I can picture it in my head.
I think anime also started as being more child-oriented, even if manga didn't. But I think the rise of manga in adults and became the thing that led to that being more adult. But there's still children ones for children.
I said Hero 8. It's called 8 Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like Speed Racer, 8 Man, and Astro Boy were like, and Gigantor, the space age robot.
Yes.
Yeah, so there was a few that started in the 50s and the 60s. Then the 70s, you had like Star Blazers, which started that whole thing of like that ended up being like Voltron and like Voltus V and stuff. Like the whole, I want to say Mecha, even though Star Blazers was about a refitted World War II battleship made for space travel. And it was more like Star Wars, but it still started that whole template of like, Voltron, so I'll just use Voltron's thing. Voltron. So, you have like your Keith, your Hunk, your Pidge, your Sven, maybe if Sven was in the version you watched. Or
I watched both.
Or like the Princess.
Yeah.
So you're like 5 main characters who have to band together. In Star Blazers, they just flew like Gesundheit. They just flew like, let's say like an X-Wing fighter from Star Wars. They didn't form a giant robot, but in later things like Voltus V and all these other ones that led up to Voltron, they would like form like giant robots and stuff.
Okay.
So that was like the mid to late 70s and then into the early 80s. But
that was still child oriented.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
I don't know, Star Blazers is pretty adult. It's cool though, but it's because it's a cartoon. Yeah. Adults are like, go ahead, kids, and watch it. And you're like watching like realistic looking women,
right?
And stuff. And you're like, it's kind of like watching Wonder Woman. You're either going to be like really straight or really gay.
Yeah.
And either way, it's because of Linda Carter.
I do love Linda Carter.
Oh, she's incredible.
Yes.
She still looks great at like 75.
I know.
It's terrible.
I was looking, like, you look 60.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, and that's only because you're gray hair. That's not because your face.
Yeah, yeah.
Like.
Yeah, and it's like, it's been 50 years since she was Wonder Woman this year. And it's like, you've barely really changed.
Your face looks the same, and it doesn't look like you got work because your face moves. What is this?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, your face is animated.
Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But yeah, most of it was more for children. But I mean, if one wasn't, but then they adapted it to be more for kids, that probably just didn't work, having it be more adult.
Yeah.
And then eventually adults started actually watching it. So then anime became, but anime is more split. You can have anything of any genre.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's not just one genre, even though Americans place it in one genre.
So it's kind of like my genre fiction class when they're like graphic novels. It's like, that's not a genre. That's just a category for every genre.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So I do think a lot of the popular ones were more for children. And then in the 80s and 90s, it kind of exploded to be more adult. But I think that has to do with the rise of movies, anime movies in America.
Yeah, I was going to say because like
Miyazaki movies.
Oh, yeah.
And those are the first things most people watch. Like My Neighbor Totoro is a lot of people's first anime.
Really?
Yes.
Because I remember, like, when I was younger, I watched, like, Star Blazers and Voltron and stuff, and, like, Speed Racer, and I think Gigantor, and all those. But as far as, like, anime movies go, it's, like, Akira.
Akira is not for children.
Did you ever finish Akira?
Yeah.
Great film, right?
Not for children.
No, it's definitely not for children, but how amazing. And that's before, like, real computer effects. That's before any of that. All that is, like, hand-drawn.
Yeah.
And it like still blows my mind. And that was it Katsuhiro Otomo?
I don't know names.
The guy who did the manga is the guy who did the movie.
That's why. That makes sense.
Like, oh my God. But like, you know, you had Akira, there were some Golgo 13 movies. Golgo 13 was a manga from like the 70s and 80s and probably the 90s about an assassin. He's kind of like a Japanese James Bond, but he's an assassin, which James Bond kind of is, even though he's more of a spy, James Bond.
He doesn't kill
this guy
for money. He just watches them for money. And then,
or he kills people for the government and he gets paid to do it.
Yeah. So it's different. If it's for a government, that's different.
Yeah. But he's a hired killer, but he's awesome. Golgo 13 is incredible. There were like 2 or 3 Golgo 13 animated films. There were some live action films in the 70s that were decent. But like, the animated films I watched, Crying Freeman was an amazing manga that got adapted into a series. So it wasn't films. It's like each episode was like, you know, a couple issues adapted.
Okay.
Incredible. Crying Freeman was about a Chinese pottery guy.
Yeah.
Who gets recruited by the Yakuza to become an assassin, and he's forced to do it. So every time he kills somebody, he cries. So that's why they call him Crying Freeman. Okay. And he has this huge like dragon tattoo all over his body. So if you ever see any picture of like a Japanese or Chinese looking dude with a dragon all over his body and like green underwear or something, it's probably Crying Freeman.
Okay.
And it's really good. It's incredible. Big O, it used to be on Adult Swim. That was about, it was kind of like if Bruce Wayne had a giant robot instead of a bat suit. Because it's about a guy like fighting crime that's wealthy. Yeah.
I was going to say rich men fighting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, beating up poor people. Rich guys beating up poor people. Oh, yeah. That's where your money comes from.
But whenever they do it, they're helping other poor people. So it's fine.
Yeah, that's it.
They're like reverse Robin Hooding, but not actually stealing.
Reverse Robin Hooding.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, that's what most people want to do.
So that's interesting to me that some people would watch like Kiki's Delivery Service. Or
I love Kiki.
Yeah,
so much.
Like I get it because I think they're more like
they're definitely more geared towards children.
Yeah, and it's more like the pop music version of anime instead of like the stuff that I mentioned is probably more like alternative rock or like heavy metal.
Yes, they're definitely.
Have you ever seen Heavy Metal?
No.
Oh, that's a good movie.
But I think once that split, then Americans were like, oh, wait, we can do the same thing. We can make things adult, but also have kids content coming out at the same time. Let's do that. So then you develop the ideas in the 80s. Whenever they did it in the 80s, 70s and 80s is when they did that. Late 80s is when people are developing ideas for like The Simpsons and South Park and all of these things. Yeah,
they're reworking what you can do in animation because they're almost rebelling against all the stuff from the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Mm-hmm. They're like, we don't want Looney Tunes anymore.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't want Charlie Brown, we don't want any of this. But then characters like Garfield could adapt to that because he's not meant to be serious. He's meant to be sarcastic.
Yeah.
He's meant to be kind of the villain of his own story.
Yeah, he's adaptable in that way.
Yeah, he can literally play anybody in any story.
There's a lot of writing that I've read. And believe it or not, in prepping for us doing this, I did do research. And even though it was maybe like a month or two ago, there's articles people wrote about how Garfield is the comic strip is the most like useless, like stupidest comic strip out there because it's not funny. Like it doesn't. Yeah, there's people that have written things about it, which is why I wonder if like Garfield's popularity is based more on the specials and the cartoons,
100%,
rather than the comic strip that spawned them.
The comic strip I find funny, but also when I watch the show, I see the comic strip.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So I associate them. I never just read it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think if I just read it, it would be different.
It's like a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
It's like Venom and Eddie.
Yes.
Yes.
If I just read it, maybe it would be like, oh, what is this cat doing? Because it's the same thing as like reading a text versus having a phone conversation if those are your choices.
Yes, yeah.
Sarcasm comes out flat when someone isn't saying it.
Yeah.
So if he's trying to be sarcastic in the comic strip in a newspaper in 1979, someone might not understand it.
And that would have been before Here Comes Garfield, so you wouldn't have heard Lorenzo Music's delivery.
Yeah, so you would think you'd read it in your own voice and be like, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
But then enough people did like it that they did it. And then when you watch it, you're like, oh, that's how everything is delivered. Let me read it like that. And then it makes more sense. But it doesn't. I guess I kind of get it. But once you watch it, love it or hate it, it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Because you can go back then, and if you read it and you hear like Lorenzo Music as Garfield, Greg Berger as Odie, and Tom Huge as John.
Greg Berger barking?
Yeah, yeah, but still, or slurping. Yeah, okay. But if you hear that, and you and whoever does Liz's voice, if you hear her voice, because they're all the main characters, and Nermal. Now you know Desiree Goyette.
Great singer.
Yeah,
also Nermal.
Does Nermal's voice, yeah. You know, like, you can enjoy the comic strip more because now you have the repertoire of sounds to go with the visuals.
Well, I think the problem is with, like, Dennis the Menace, they had a radio show, right?
No, they had a TV show.
Okay. So they had a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
They had a thing for it. And then, like, Superman had a radio show.
Superman, had a radio show and then a TV show. Actually, radio show, okay, hold on. Radio show and then animated films and like shorts, animated shorts, and then 2 movies, like serial chapter plays, and then a TV show. And up until the TV show, I think they still had the radio show.
Well, because a lot of these, if you just read comics with no other context, sometimes it comes out flat because it's literally 2D paper.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you're not going to get any human aspect. You're not going to get anything from it unless you do it to yourself. But then you could be completely wrong as to what it is. And I think that's probably why they had radio shows for these things. And then the radio shows, because the comic strip in the newspaper was popular, they made a show for it because people would listen.
Yeah.
And then once radio started going out of fashion and TV started, they made a TV show for it. Or they made shorts for it for people with their nickel movie days or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's the content people enjoyed. But with the extra context, you could enjoy it more.
Well, you mentioned Beetle Bailey earlier. Mm-hmm. Like in '89, they did like a Beetle Bailey special, which I don't think they ever aired. They did like Blondie, Beetle Bailey. I think they did Kathy. Oh, that probably the Kathy one that won the award.
Probably.
And whatever like United Features Syndicate comic strips they adapted. But in the '60s, they also did Beetle Bailey cartoons. They did Crazy Cat. They did a couple other. Oh, I think they also had a Hagar the Horrible cartoon like in '89. But in the '60s, you know, Beetle Bailey, and it's interesting to watch them because I think I showed them to you before, at least one, because Beetle Bailey's voice was Wade the Duck.
Yes.
From Garfield and Friends. So if you know what Beetle Bailey sounds like, you know what the Sergeant sounds like, you know what Zero sounds like, you can read Beetle Bailey and it just enhances it. Mm-hmm. And Beetle Bailey, the guy who does his voice, because remember I forced you to watch that episode of Andy Griffith's Show because it's the actual guy was in it.
Yeah.
But he was also the voice of Jughead in the 60s Archie cartoon.
Yes, I like that cartoon.
Yeah, that was a great cartoon.
And then, what? The Hex Girls and some other ones?
Yeah. Like crazy.
Yeah.
Like...
But that animation style is something that they were trying to not do anymore.
Yeah.
That is...
Because that was Filmation who did the Archies, and they did Batman around that time.
Mm-hmm.
They did like the Justice League one, like pre-Super Friends DC stuff was Filmation.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's kind of crazy to watch it. And then like, because then after Super Friends came out, like anytime I read like a Superman, a Batman, a Wonder Woman, a Flash comic,
you heard it in that voice?
Yeah, I would hear it in those actors because they were like the epitome of that. So yeah, you're right. I guess it does change how you view it or like go back and experience it after that.
But why would you just read it whenever there's so much other content you could absorb with it?
Oh, I know what you mean. So like, why would you read Garfield and not watch the show?
Why wouldn't you do both? If you're going to write a paper about it, why would you only read the comic strips?
Yeah, I don't know.
But maybe they did both, and they're like, I don't know, the show was better than the comics. I don't think the comics should exist.
Well, I think the show just enhances the comics and enhances the character more than the comics can, because I think it's very rare in the comic strip for them to have like a long storyline. Like Doonesbury, to go back to that one, it's pretty much been the same storyline since 1970. So you have 55 years of characters after 1983. They actually started to age in real time. So once they finally graduated from college after 13 or 14 years,
right,
they started to age. So now they're actually in their like 70s. The original main characters. So they have kids and like grandkids and stuff.
So then they're gonna have them die at some point, probably have it about their kids or something.
Yeah, unless I don't know if Gary Trudeau will just end it. You know, I don't know if his kids would take over. I don't know if anyone could take over for him because he's been doing it solo for like 55 years. That's even longer than Peanuts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, he's only done Sunday strips since 2014. But that's because he was working on a TV show that was on Amazon called Alpha House, which was about these Republican senators living together in like the same, I guess kind of like this, same kind of place.
Okay.
In Washington, and it's a great show. It's actually incredible.
I didn't know that was an actual thing that happened until I was watching a documentary about something and it came up. I had no idea.
I think it's Democrats in real life.
Yeah.
But in the show, it was Republicans.
It's just baffling to me that you have like 5 to 7 grown men living in one place.
Yeah.
That's probably gross.
I'm sure it is gross, but it's only when they're in session, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still probably
gross. It's probably a gross house.
Yeah.
I imagine they have a cleaner come after. I don't know. They might be clean. I might just be completely wrong. They might be amazingly hygienic. But really, there's no women there to tell them to be.
Do you have Prime?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's on Prime, Alpha House. So if you ever get a chance to watch it, it's actually really good. It was only 2 seasons. But he took time off from the strip and started to only do Sundays because he was working on that show. And then I think he just continued just doing Sundays.
It was probably easier, and he's been doing them every day forever.
Yeah, and he's older. So it's kind of like he's in his like mid-70s now, still doing this stuff. So yeah, at least he's still doing new content.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome. Like the characters, if you ever get a chance to read, like the one thing I have, you can't see it, but there's that black thing above the Resident Alien and Popeye stuff.
Yeah. It's
Doonesbury at 50. It's a flash drive that you plug into your computer and you can read from 1970 to 2020.
Okay.
Like every Doonesbury strip. And I believe if you go to Ollie's, a cheap plug for Ollie's, even though we're not getting paid, $24.99 for that instead of like $120 or $150.
Reminds me of the Edgar Allan Poe complete collection for $7 instead of $60.
Wow.
Or like, I got some stuff from there. I got the Shining and Carrie book for like $3. It's $25 retail.
Really? Ollie's has some great deals. I don't know if they're just around this area or if they're like nationwide. I don't know. But either way,
I know that they're down south because I know someone who worked there.
Okay.
So
maybe
it's an East Coast thing. Maybe it's
an
everywhere.
East Coast thing,
I don't know.
Yeah, but either way,
if you have an Ollie's, go.
Yeah, because they have great deals on a lot of things you wouldn't think about. So anyway, wow, we're kind of meandering here.
Yes,
I apologize.
But, I mean, okay, half of it was relevant.
Yeah, it was. All of it's relevant.
I do think though that with animation style changing, the specials changed with it too.
Yeah, they adapted as times change and budgets change.
The show did too, but the show, it's way more noticeable.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's coming out weekly. This is coming out once a year, so you're like, oh, this could have just changed because of this. But then you look at everything else around it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, actually, that's why it changed. But anime probably did have an effect on it because in the 80s and 90s is when anime started coming to America. And then, like, Sailor Moon, stuff like that.
Sailor Moon. I forgot about Sailor Moon.
Sailor Moon is another one.
Pokemon in the mid-90s.
Pokemon, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball.
And also, this isn't anime, but Power Rangers would have had an effect on how content was digested. Because they would just film the scenes with American actors, but use the Japanese action
it's so
sequences.
Funny.
Yeah. And it's just Voltron, just live action Voltron.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all it is. So.
But, I don't know. That probably had some kind of effect that we'll notice later.
Yeah.
But right now,
I'm sure
it's the mid 80s and they're still basically in the 70s.
Yeah, they are because they're using like big like Disney kind of techniques yet. But the budgets for these specials would have been bigger than for the individual episodes.
Also, the budgets probably keep getting bigger because they won 3 years in a row.
Yeah, that's true. So they're giving them more money because they know that people are watching.
Yes.
And they know that it's award winning. And you have like once like the Japanese animation influence comes in, you have then like I think with these like primetime shows and even Garfield and Friends, the animation studios then hire out to like Korean animators, Japanese animators, like all these Asian studios start doing the animation because they're faster at it. Because Filmation, which we mentioned earlier, that's an American studio. Hanna-Barbera, for decades, was an American studio. Once these other companies came in and they realized, you could do stuff faster overseas, it's like faster turnaround time. So maybe it would be like 5 months instead of 6 months to do like one episode. You still saved a month. Mm-hmm. So it's like, all right, we should do this. And then directors, they just storyboard the whole thing and you have your model sheets and everything usually works out.
Yeah, it's worked forever. I don't know. Until computers.
Yeah, now computers really change the game.
Yeah, you can do it from anywhere.
Yeah. And that's how, like, in that South Park documentary, because, they started out doing, like, cardboard cutouts and almost like stop motion with, like, the cardboard. Or not cardboard, I'm sorry. Construction paper cutouts. And now it's all on computers. So they're able to do it in a week instead of, like 4 or 5 months per episode. So.
And it still takes them 2 years to come out with a season.
Yeah, but I guess, once they became more pop culture icons with like Mormon or the Book of Mormon, the musical. And like,
yes, I was just talking about that.
And like the other films that they've done, like Team America, World Police. You have Orgasmo, which is a great film about a Mormon accidentally getting into the porn industry. It's the only NC-17 film that has no nudity in it. It's because of the subject matter that it's NC-17, but it's great. And you have Cannibal the musical. You have Basketball. Like they've done other things other than South Park. So I guess, you have writers from South Park did Hamlet too, one of my favorite films. Mm-hmm. So, it's not like they're not doing anything when they're not doing South Park. And I guess people don't think about that. Like, you can do other things. Like they did the Book of Mormon. That just doesn't spontaneously happen.
No.
You need to, because that documentary for South Park, they film it like right after the Book of Mormon opens. So it starts off with them in New York as the Book of Mormon is opening. Then they have to go back to LA to start doing new episodes of South Park. They're like, all right, it's like Thursday. By Wednesday, we have to have a new episode to Comedy Central. And they're like, we have no idea what it's going to be, what's going to happen. And it's just crazy, like the schedule, how they do it. But that's not like these shows. These shows are written, edited, like, because, you have like editors for the writing first, story editors. And then, they have to go storyboarded. They have to go to the animators. There's
I feel like
a longer process.
the show, though, is probably more like that.
South Park? Oh, no. It's Garfield and Friends?
Mm-hmm.
Like
they might have a basic story, but they don't know what's actually going to happen in it.
Maybe because it was basically one guy writing it all. And I think he was the story editor. So how do you story edit yourself? I'm just curious.
You just don't hire an editor and say you edit yourself.
Maybe.
What that means.
Maybe, and then you get paid twice.
Yeah, you might as well. Get paid for both positions.
Yeah,
It makes
that's
it funny.
true.
But if you have a basic storyline like, hey, in this, I want them to get caught in a bush by a bee, and then have that be the storyline for the whole episode, you can come up with something around it.
Yeah.
But
And if your voice actors are good at improv, they can probably just come up with stuff.
Or by season 7, they just know you. It's
Yeah, because think about, it was Garfield on the Town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lorenzo Music co-wrote that.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew Garfield well enough by the second special to co-write the episode. So there's probably more of him and Garfield than we realize. And I may have said that the last time because
I think so.
I'm getting deja vu saying it. So.
But I don't know. I think it is interesting. And the more we watch, the later it'll be, the more that we will see.
Yes. I agree. And now, it is this one next.
Garfield Halloween Adventure.
Yeah, so next we'll do the Garfield Halloween Adventure because that came out on October 30th, 1985. And Garfield in Paradise
came out in 86, and why was it in the...
Yeah, what? Okay. Now I'm confused. Okay, anyway.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so Garfield's Halloween Adventure will be next.
Yes.
So, alrighty. I am Jamie.
And I'm Cora.
And this has been The Cat's Pajamas. There we go.